Look into my eyes, look into my eyes. You are now going to focus on an introduction and the layout for Tinkercad, and then onto keyrings. Pay attention. Here we go. Create new design. And from here, I'm going to just do a quick show you around the Tinkercad pieces and then show you how to create a flat keyring shape that we can then insert a little keyring for. So it's going to be a flat shape with a hole in it of a certain dimension. So it could be a flat shape with other shapes within it, but essentially the whole piece is what's important for us. And so it could be a range of different shapes, and I'm going to show you how to work it. So a reminder, this is the work plane. So if I talk about the work plane and you're dragging a shape onto the work plane, remember that that is considered also the bed for a 3D printer. So here we go. A quick look around. Reminder, this is the view cube, so you can change how you begin to look at your drawing. The front is going to be important today, and so is the top. There's the home key, which gives us back to this view of the work plane. Reminder that the ones that we'll be using today, maybe the undo and the redo are useful for you today, and then this is going to be useful for us today. Group. Control G would be a keyboard shortcut, but group is what we're going to use today. So I've shown you in the lesson using a cylinder and having a flat shape. I was wondering if we could have a look at a different shape and how we would put a hole in that. So if we take a polygon, we're going to drag that onto the work plane. A reminder that the size is what's become quite important now. So we have a size and we're going to have a thickness. We decided that there are some criteria to a keyring, and it can't have any sharp edges. We might be able to get away with that, but we also decided that 20 millimeters, that's a lot. That's going to be really thick. That's going to be kind of like that thick. That's no good. So we're going to click onto this handle here, and you'll see that 20 comes up, which seems to be the default, and we're going to take it down to 5. We can click off, aha. And so now we can also look here in this properties box, how many sides. So at the moment it's set at 6. I'm going to go for a shape that's going to be set for 10. And click, and so I now have 10. Now I might also think that the size, look at these squares here, if I could take the ruler, I'm looking at it, that's not a very big keyring. So at the moment also it's set to about 20. So I want something a little bit bigger. I'm going to go for twice the size, 40 in that dimension, and I'm going to go 30 in that axis. So I now have a basic shape. I can look at it in different views. Again, I can look at it from the top, which is going to be useful for me because I now want to put a hole round about there. So I'm going to drag a hole. So a reminder that these are the solid shapes, the coloured ones, and then these ones with this hatching on them are the holes. So I'm going to drag what we would call a hole shape over, and it's going to be too big. It's going to dominate the entire space. So I will click on that. Sorry, maybe I can change the color of one of those to make it clearer. But right now, I'm going to want to change the size, and I'm going to do that by clicking on the handle. And the whole size is going to be 5 millimeters. So I'm going to go 5 on that side and 5 on that side. And so that gives me a hole that's, oh, it's moved over to here. So how am I going to move that over? So what I can do is select the shape. I'm going to use the arrow keys on the keyboard, click it over. I don't want it too near the edge. If I'm going to print that, that wouldn't help me. So there is, and if we look at that in a front view, that is the hole. I mean, I can even have us show the hole. I can grab the black handle there, and look, That's the hole going through the keyring. So we need to almost manufacture that, and the way we do that is by using a command called group. Now there's two ways of doing it. You can use a keyboard shortcut, Control A for select all, Control A for select all, or click outside of the shape, click and drag so that you have this red dotted rectangle around everything in your drawing. And then you are going to join. So the way you're doing it is by a group. So you're grouping those selected objects together. So you group a solid shape with a whole shape. We'll look at the top and we get a geometric shape with a hole through it.